When considering the handling differences between the Hornet and the DT-01, there are a couple of things to consider. One of them is the angle of the rear dampers, which are not far off vertical on the Hornet. This means that when you turn the rear axle like so, there's not a great deal of travel available before you start rotating the entire chassis. Another thing to consider at the back is that unless you fit an Ampro brace like this, or a third or fifth shock arrangement which does the same sort of thing, the front of the motor pod moves up and down every time you accelerate or brake. And there's no real damping up front here. That also contributes to the chassis bouncing around. Moving to the front, you can see there's not a great deal of space available for fitting dampers. You can fit those tiny little oil dampers made by UG, but from what I gather they don't work terribly well and are rather prone to leaking. In comparison, if we take a look at the DT-01, you can see a lot of rake on those rear dampers. That has the effect of giving you quite a lot of movement to the rear axle pod before you start moving the rest of the chassis. Another thing to consider is that it comes factory fitted with its equivalent of the Ampro brace, so that's one less expensive part you need to fit. And of course up front there's plenty of room to fit conventional oil dampers. That also results in a lot less bouncing around.